Egypt's impact on later cultures was immense. You could say that Egypt provided the building blocks for Greek and Roman culture, and through them influenced all of the Western tradition. Today, Egyptian imagery, concepts, and perspectives are found everywhere. You will find them in architectural forms, on money, and in our day-to-day lives. It was by the banks of the river Nile that one of the oldest civilizations in the world began. Through myths, the Nile was held up to the ancient people as the source of all life in Egypt and an integral part of the lives of the gods. The Milky Way was considered a celestial part of the Nile, and it was believed that the sun god Ra drove his ship across it. The ancient Egyptians lived and farmed along the Nile, using the soil to produce food for themselves and their animals. The annual flooding of the Nile replenished fertility with the otherwise infertile desert. The flooding of the Nile was attributed to Hapi, the god of the Nile, fertility the north and south. The ancient Egyptians called the river Ar or Aur because of the color of the sediment left after the river's annual flood. It was believed that in traveling across the sky, Ra brings light to the earth, sustaining all things that live there. He reaches the peak of his strength at noon and then ages and weakens as he moves toward sunset. In the pre-civilization time, people found living in the Nile River Valley provided them a safe environment. The Nile River Valley was a rich area because of the annual flooding of the river. Over time, the various groups organized themselves into two separate governments called the Upper Kingdom and the Lower Kingdom. To the people of Egypt, the ruler, later called the Pharaoh, was more than a king. He was considered by many to be a god. As a god, the Pharaoh was believed to possess the secrets of heaven and earth. The Pharaoh was a living embodiment of the Egyptian gods, and that is why his power was considered absolute by the Egyptians. Though Egypt's unique culture was quickly buried beneath successive layers of Greek, Roman, and Arabic tradition, all knowledge of Egypt's glorious past was not lost. The decaying stone mountains, their hieroglyphic texts, survived as a silent witness to a long-lost civilization.